Hey, good morning, guys. Genevieve here to talk about our upcoming new moon in the sign of Capricorn. This is going to be tomorrow, early evening, around 5, right before 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. First, before I get into that, I'm now transitioning. I've already finished my last day of work at the chiropractor. Yesterday, I spent the day kind of refreshing, updating my office. And if you can see back there, my gorgeous tapestry, my zodiac wheel tapestry. Steve had bought it for me several years ago. It was hanging in his office, and then I used it briefly while I was doing my astrology classes down at Stone and Sage. And then I took it, and it was stuffed in the corner behind the chair in my office for the last 2 years, and I don't know why. So I finally just hung it up over the area in which when people come into my home office for consultations is the client chair. So did that, kind of reorganize some of my oils, getting ready to ramp up for January. We're not in June yet. January with some new, highlighted products and sales and things like that. So I'm really trying to, prepare for the new year these last few days of 2024, and that's what we all should be doing. Of course, new moons is time to release the old, welcome in the new, and to do that, especially at the end of a calendar year, this is the time to physically clean your home, get rid of stuff that is just stuff, clutter, paperwork, tidy it up, get ready for tax season too, because that is Capricorn season starts, and finances is a big deal. So get organized, get everything in line, get rid of all the old stuff. That is what new moons are for, especially the new moon that's bringing in the new year. And of course, this one can't come soon enough. It's on the 30th because, let's be real, we all want to wrap up 2024. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hell of a year. 2025 is not going to be a lot easier, but there's a lot more opportunity to overcome challenges, okay? So that's what this Capricorn season is focusing on. That's what this Capricorn new moon is going to help you how to do. And of course, my oil blend for the Capricorn new moon is Clean Slate, because we're literally drawing a line under the previous calendar year. And we are starting fresh in a new calendar year, but we are also just wiping the slate clean of everything from the previous month, from the previous 12 months. And even though astrologically this is not the beginning of the year, Aries season is, but we go by the calendar year in most of the world now. And so this is it. Time to usher in the new, right? Get rid of the old. So, I am on New Year's Day going to announce my January specials. I'm going to have a new candle price. We are going to be doing a lot of great new exciting things in 2025 with essentially Genevieve. But here for our chart, and of course I will share the charts, the 2 images, possibly 3 charts, in the comments under my video. Okay, but first of all, so in our wheel, we have the elements are almost equally balanced, but it's actually more heavily weighted in water than anything else. We have 9 water transits. We have 6 fire, 7 air, and 7 earth, and 5 air. So Capricorn being an earth sign, we do have the most water. So again, watch out for those emotions. A little bit of instability where that's concerned. But earth is grounding. So there's 7 in earth. There are 6 in fire. And, we need the fire energy to usher in this new year. And 5 in air. So ideas, intellect, all that stuff. Okay. So pretty much equally balanced as we can hope for going into 2025. So with the sun and the moon in Capricorn, they are conjunct. Of course, we know that means that they help each other out. They're very close together. Now the sun in Capricorn is very serious and responsible, brings success at work, especially in health, care and helping professions. This placement wants us all to be useful to society, but however, there's ability to underestimate yourself, your self-worth, or your own needs and things like that, needs and wants. Okay. So that can bring about some resentment, but you can overcome that with service to others. Although there is a little bit of restlessness and emotional tension associated with this new moon. So Um, the sun and the moon are sextile to Saturn in Pisces. So, first with the sun sextile to Saturn, this also is going to highlight or put an emphasis on that hard work and responsibility. Also, unfortunately, highlights some of that low self-esteem. Stop being so hard on yourself, especially it's a holiday. Like, let it go. Let that self-discipline is good, but you can't live like that all the time. Just lighten up a little bit, during this phase. Mood in Capricorn. There is safety in being useful. Okay, that's what this placement says. So we feel safe when we are useful to society. But however, this does tend to bring in desire for outside approval. But be careful of that. It's a very addictive thing, and it doesn't really change your self-doubt. It actually can be harmful to your self-esteem if you get too much of that outside approval seeking. And even when you get it, you're not satisfied. So your approval needs to come from within. Try to avoid external pressures from this time. This placement actually really highlights survival ability. Okay. Especially because maybe if some hardships you've had to overcome during childhood, or a specifically stressful or traumatic earlier life. So that survival skill is absolutely awesome. It's a great tool to have. Don't wallow in the emotional part of that, though. Again, lighten up. This does bring success in business, and stability, but also, stability, very reliable, very helpful, very successful, but extremely stubborn. Again, try to let some of that go before we go into 2025, okay? So now we have Mercury in Sagittarius. This is can't sit still energy. All right. It is a holiday still. We're excited. We're excited to get rid of 2024 to go into 2025. So this is going to highlight fast communication styles, talent for languages, foreign languages, philosophy, travel. Definitely highlights a specialization, especially in technical careers, right? So this highlights people with an extreme niche or specialty career. Possibly even learning a new skill or career. There is a perfectionistic tendency with this, and also worrying too much. Hates messes. Well, this is today, tomorrow. Let's get rid of the mess. You really want to do this. I mean, some people think it's hokey, but honestly, the cleaner your home is before you go into the new year, the more you can get rid of the excess that you can purge, you are going to go into the new year feeling lighter. You do this energetically and spiritually as well. Okay. Sage away. Yeah, so we have, this is where our new moon cleansing and clearing ritual, again, comes in hand. Cleaning, cleansing, airing out, get rid of it. So this is opposite Jupiter and Gemini. So just like the last time we talked about this, it was the same thing in 2 weeks ago's chart. So this can lead to extremist thinking, difficulty in putting theory to practice, and more of that restless behavior might highlight an opportunity or desire to travel or move abroad. So we have this is square Saturn in Pisces. So this is going to add again to that serious, practical, calm, responsible approach to things, which is very beneficial. All right. So, but again, we want to avoid going to extremes with that. This is still a holiday, so let's enjoy it. Venus. Yep. Venus is in Aquarius. We talked about this before. This brings an experimental, somewhat shocking and weird, unconventional kind of romance style. Also very people pleasing though. Very great at social events, very liberal attitudes, which is great for a holiday celebration. But if you want to make those bonds last, and if you want to overdo losing some of the bonds you've created, stick to your internal moral code for lasting relationships, okay? This also highlights the possibility for material gain through relationship or inheritance, like we talked about before. But there is caution in this, in the opposite, in the shadow of all of that kind of open-minded, liberal attitude. There is a real possibility for possessiveness and jealousness, okay? So it's going to take like a real, again, going inside, finding your moral code. Is that really who I am? No, not really. But, you know, tempers can flare at times. There is a real highlight on conjoined effort and not just like finance and success gained through your own self, but communal, like, so conjoined and common effort and joint finances to get to achieve your goals, to accumulate your wealth. All right. And also, but caution against being too lazy or getting stuck in a rut, because sometimes things can come a little bit easy with this placement. Okay, so things that are easy come don't necessarily need to be easy go if you kind of use that freaking Capricorn, like, responsible, you know, more conservative approach to things. Thanks, Capricorn. Need ya. So this is Venus is going to be square Uranus in Taurus. So relationship and personal freedoms can feel very, you know, there's a balance here, and relationships can feel restrictive at times. There's constantly changing, constantly wanting change. Feelings are constantly changing. This is not a good time, as I mentioned on our last video, to start a long-term relationship, because this is going to be a more camaraderie friendly vibe, you know, eccentric kind of, you know, things are not going to last that are started in this time in the romance department. Doesn't mean it's not a good time to change things or take things to the next level, because the new year does usher in that opportunity. Mars is in Leo in the first house, so I want you to really pay attention to this. This is going to give a fearless and independent start to the new year. Thanks, Mars and Leo. It's in the first house, which is the ascendant. Here we come, 2025. Responsible, but very cheerful. There's a sense of honor to the public in this energy. Very dramatic expression, though, and especially in romantic and personal relationships. So 2025 is coming in with a roar with Mars and Leo, okay? This is the center of the tension. There's action, energy, there's competition, career success highlighted with this. There is a sextile to Neptune and Pisces with Mars and Leo, which is the success highlighting creative and artistic fields, but there can be a little bit of impracticality in private life, so work on that. There is an opposition with Pluto and Aquarius, so this is going to bring in stubborn and determined energy, but that is good if you're trying to accomplish a goal. Also, big life changes. All of this stuff is good. Try not to hurt other people's feelings in the process. Pluto and Aquarius, okay? Jupiter and Gemini, and Leo and Mars too. I mean, Mars and Leo. Jupiter and Gemini, talent for writing, study abroad. This is twin energy, okay? So think about twins. It can be highlight twin children. So some of you might be having news of twin births coming along, but also maybe two residences. Maybe you're going to have an opportunity to purchase a second residence, or maybe it's two careers. Maybe you're not satisfied in one. You have one leg in the other. You know, two legs, one in each separate career, or two careers kind of conjoining into one bigger enterprise. Very good things, ambitions, fulfilling dreams and goals, planning big projects, okay? Great organization energy here. Success through friend support. We all need our friends. Let's find them, the true ones, and rely on them. This is a great placement for politicians. So check your chart if you have Jupiter and Gemini in the, what house is this? What house did we say? In the 11th house? 11th? No, first. One of those. Anyway, look it up. I'll write about it in the comments, but yeah. So look at your local politicians. Look at your ones that are rising to like success and notoriety in this end of this year and what's coming forward. Probably many of them have this Jupiter and Gemini placement in this house. Okay, but this energy is square Saturn. It's square. There's, again, the contradictory possibilities we talked about before. So the risk and the opportunity, like, what do I do here? This is a new moon. This is a new year. It's time to make the decision. Make it. Yes, risk for your opportunity, But, use that Saturn to help you discern which is the right one. So do it. This is the time to do it. All right. So now we're getting into Saturn and Pisces. Again, Saturn rules Capricorn. This chart is Saturn and Pisces all the way. So this is focus. This is where we want to focus on this balance. Discipline to take care of others versus self, okay? Focus on balancing that. Really get it down. This can be a challenge for this placement, but you need to tap into your wisdom to do it. This is in the 9th house, so this gives a stable and practical energy and life philosophy. Believe it or not, this is traditional views on religion, education, and business. These people, this is rule following. Follow the rules to reach your goals. Be precise in your work. This is good for administrative skills and professions. Okay. This is sextile the sun and moon. This is square Mercury and square Jupiter, which we just talked about. I want to come back to this. I keep talking about how Pisces is a sign of a religion, occult, Saturn and Pisces is about discipline and that. I know a lot of Pisces that swear they are not religious people. They might even consider themselves the anti-religious folk. They are very fascinated, and they are lying to you or they're lying to themselves. They are very fascinated in it. They study it. They are fascinated and study people who are deeply religious. They might not think they believe it, but they certainly take those lessons to heart and they heed warnings of people who are. So stop fooling yourself, Pisces people. Get with it. You are spiritual, whether you want to admit it or not. Okay. So we have Uranus in Taurus. Now this is sudden changes again in finance and property, making friends easily, but keeping them at a distance. Okay, this kind of energy. So yes, absolutely make new friends, but keep them at a distance until you really get to know who they are. Very liberal thinking and progressive goals during this energy. New practices in agriculture and real estate. It's about time. We're breaking traditional conservatism. We are creating new traditional values under this energy. Again, this is generational energy. This isn't just a couple of days here. This is square Venus. This is sextile Neptune and Pisces, which brings us innovative ideas, inspiration, original ideas. We do need help from the others, though, and we do need help from the other planets. So in this, just support the chart, the support is there. That is that Capricorn, Saturn, and Pisces, and Capricorn, Saturn, all of it, right? Going to get back to that. So yes, Neptune and Pisces, it's in its own sign. It's going to be there for a long while. Again, generational. So idealistic, charitable, religious, mystical powers, easily influenced though. Interested in unusual religions again. This can highlight some misunderstanding with in-laws. So that might be a challenge that's going to be a few decades that you're working on, because when you get, let's face it, once you have in-laws, you're not getting rid of them. Not if the relationship is going to last anyway. So Neptune is trine Mars, and it is sextile Uranus and Pluto. We talked about that already. Pluto is in Aquarius in the 7th house. So this Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. This is truly, Aquarius. Pluto just went into Aquarius after centuries. So this is a death and a rebirth. This is deep and complicated relationships. Definitely have a tendency to draw stubborn partners, which can kind of be a drag on energy, be a drag on emotions, but there's definitely a strongly developed sense of justice with Pluto and Aquarius, right? It's in the 7th house. So we're at almost 20 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. My readings are never going to be short. I'm going to stop apologizing about that. So the star of this chart of this new moon energy, as I've highlighted, is Mars in Leo in the 1st house, welcoming in 2025. Like, this is the energy we're ushering it in. The challenge and the opportunity here is Saturn, the taskmaster, the disciplinarian. Challenge and opportunity. Let's really try to focus on 2025 because it is going to be a very challenging year. There's opportunity in the challenge. Find it cooperate with people maybe that you disagree with or that you have opposite thought patterns with, because that is where the opportunity lies. And again, the generational influences, Jupiter, yes, Jupiter for sure is somewhat, but certainly Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and tiny little Pluto all the way out there in the nethers. This is generational stuff. This is, you know, so our young generation that's just being born under this planetary thing, they, you know, I mean, like they say, the children are the future, and this is a great new world that we're ushering in, and 2025 is the start. Some more very severe shakeups, some very, very challenging and scary things for a lot of people. But let's really, really try to work together and see each other's point of view and get over this just tearing each other apart. That's the only way we're going to survive. All right. Happy New Year, guys. Bye.